What's going on, everybody? Thanks for joining us here on The Drop, our ESPN Hockey Digital program. 3 great games in the NHL, exclusively on ESPN and ESPN+. Arda Ocal, senior NHL national writer, Greg Wyshynski. What's up, man? How are you?
I'm good. I did a little piece on Jordan Kyrou this week of the St. Louis Blues, being called by former Dallas Stars defenseman and current Sarnia Sting owner Darian Hatcher a Mike Modano type player. The next Mike Modano, he says. But he says it because the man can skate really fast with the puck, as well as without the puck, as we saw against Connor McDavid in the skills competition.
Not because he got traded to Detroit late in his career, joined Detroit late in his career.
No, it's not. No, it won't be that path. Don't tell a Blues fan that Kyrou's going to end up a Red Wing. Come on, that's very cruel.
Can't do that.
Very cruel indeed.
Appreciate you joining us, whether you're watching us on Twitter, on YouTube, or ESPN+. Of course, big game, the Stars and the Hurricanes. That's on ESPN, a 7 Eastern start. So we are leading into that, as well as 2 big games on ESPN+. Before we get there, though, last night, during the Toronto Maple Leafs game, you may have seen a peculiar and completely out of the ordinary jersey. I thought they were fantastic. Here they are, basically an alternate third. Guess what? These were designed by that guy. Super fan of the Toronto Maple Leafs, one Justin Bieber. They are the first reversible jerseys in professional sports history. Major sports anyhow. Drew House, of course, is Bieber's fashion brand, and there's a whole community vibe to it. Austin Matthews and him, of course, are good buddies. They vacation together. So, Bieber and the Leafs are a natural fit. But I like them, man. I'm a fan of them.
So here's what I like. I like that. I like what the Biebs is wearing right there. I like the reversed version of it where you have the stitching of the Leaf surrounding the Drew House logo. Maybe it's the Watchmen fan in me that it kind of reminds me of the Comedian's button a little bit. But I got to say this about the other jersey. This is my problem with the other jersey. The other jersey, the black jersey they wore last night, one, needed a heck of a lot more blue in it. You want to have a recognizable Maple Leafs jersey, not enough blue in it. And my other problem is, dude, it reminded me of those jerseys we had back in the 1990s when every team was rocking their black third jersey. It was so 90s. I felt like I should be drinking a Surge while watching I Know What You Did Last Summer.
What's wrong with that?
It's too 90s. A little bit more blue, and I think we might have something. But for me, reverse it and wear it on the ice. Because the Bieber reverse jersey is the better jersey.
Do you know what melody comes to mind when I see this? It's like Mario got the star.
And they were invincible last night against the Devils.
They certainly were. Those aren't the only reversible jerseys, apparently, in the NHL. We saw this on social media as well. We all know the story by now. of the trade that didn't happen between the Golden Knights and the Anaheim Ducks. Something about a no-trade list. Go and look it up online for the full story here, but this is hilarious. The internet is undefeated.
And people have been asking me, as the Jersey Fouls guy, whether a Dadonov 63 Ducks jersey is a foul. The answer is no. He was briefly a member of the Ducks. The NHL approved the trade before they canceled it. So if you want to get that, the only question is if he would have worn 63. I'm not sure if he would have. There's somebody with 63 in the Ducks system. But if you want to get a Dadonov jersey, it's a Ducks jersey, you want to waste your money for a gag gift, go ahead, no foul.
I think that's fair. I think that's a good ruling. I think it's a great ruling. Yeah. We want to celebrate Women's History Month. Obviously, the Frozen Four is happening. This is amazing. I absolutely love the Ohio State, their first Frozen Four, their first national championship on the women's side. Let's show you exactly some of the scenes and some of the views on how we got there. Jennifer Gardner scoring a Goal of the Year candidate when you look at the skill of the goal, but also the importance, the moment. They win 3-2 over Minnesota Duluth, their first Frozen Four title in program history, which is amazing.
It's awesome. Shout out Peyton Levis of Ohio State and Rogers, Minnesota, winning Outstanding Player in the tournament. Peyton, a Minnesota Wild fan. Arda.
How about that?
Yeah, exactly.
Got to cut those nets. Are you kidding me? Absolutely love it. Speaking of women's hockey, more coming to ESPN platforms. The Isabel Cup, the PHF, the playoffs are upon us. Pardon me, all roads lead to Monday, March 28th, the final, 8:30 p.m. Eastern, a pregame show on ESPN+, and 9 p.m. Eastern, the winner of the semifinals will face each other on ESPN2.
All right, so my daughter Vivian is a huge Metropolitan Riveters fan. Shout out Madison Packer. They're not my pick. Connecticut Whales, sir.
You're going all the way with the Connecticut Whale.
Kennedy Marchment, leading scorer of the PHF. Connecticut Whale.
Shout out to Rebecca Morrison. Shout out to Alison Loukin, who's joining us right now, one of the stars of hockey social media. She works with the Seattle Kraken. She's the analytics expert. You must, I urge every single person watching this to follow her on social media right now. Go and find her at Alison L. Absolutely necessary, required reading and follow. Alison, thanks for being here on The Drop.
Thanks so much. But Arda, I'm bummed you totally missed Wish's Jersey foul joke that he just gave.
It's a Ducks a foul. A Ducks a foul.
So wow. Okay, I throw so many dad jokes out there. Sometimes I'm going to miss one or two. I'm allowed. Let's get to our segment here. What we're going to do, Alison, we're going to have a little fun here. So the NHL trade deadline is come and gone. What we're going to do is we're going to play a little game called buy or sell. There's going to be some sentences here, some phrases, some statements, and all three of us, we're going to try and we're going to try and come to a conclusion on whether we would buy or sell these.
All right.
Let's start. Go ahead, Wish.
All right. Are the Seattle Kraken going to make the 2023 Stanley Cup playoffs? You buying or selling that, Arda?
Wow. That's a tough one. I'm going to say I want to see what they do at the draft. I think Ron Francis is going to stay on stage for the entire draft. He's just going to have a throne on stage, and he's never going to leave. I'll be the devil's advocate. I'd love to hear why Alison will buy, but I'm going to sell this only for another year, but I do see big things in their long-term future.
I say buy. I feel like, Alison, you guys are going to use some of them draft picks for some pretty good players this summer because you got all of them. And so I'm going to buy. And plus the Pacific Division, who knows? A bunch of weird stuff happened this year. So I think the Kraken, I'm going to buy them as a playoff team.
Yep, Wish, I'm with you. I think that the goaltending can't really be what it was this year. It doesn't make sense. There's no sense that it will continue like it has. And Ron Francis is really laying the groundwork to say that not all those draft picks are going to be used on the stage in Montreal. So I think if he can get some of the big fish he might be eyeing, I'm going to be bullish and say in that division, the Kraken have a good chance.
Okay, so the Kraken, we're going to go buy on that one. Again, I'm serious. Alison, we should buy Ron Francis a giant throne. I'm serious. Put it on set, on stage. He just stays there and just like sits when someone else is making a pick.
Lazy boy, not a throne.
A lazy boy,
you got to keep the man comfortable.
Yeah, you can recline.
It should be a Triton's throne with, Tritons and all that stuff.
Yes.
Seahorses and all sorts of things. Exactly. Now
I love it. Okay, buy or sell, Alison. The Panthers will win the Stanley Cup this year.
I am selling on that. I think that between the fact that the path through the East is so tough, and I think that while Florida is really talented offensively, they need to be strong in all three pillars of the game, and I just don't think they have enough to guarantee winning the East, let alone beating my pick in the West, which is Colorado.
All right, I am selling as well. I think you got to crawl before you walk, you know what I mean? And I feel like it is Stanley Cup playoff tradition that they'll take their big loss, hopefully in the second round for the first time since 1996 against the Lightning, and then learn from it, come back and win next year.
Allison, I'm with you. This is a sweep for Sell. Sergei Bobrovsky, someone you know very well from your time in Columbus, I'm still thinking, what is this guy going to do in the postseason? That mental, that state of mind as he goes into deep waters into the playoffs, I need to see it to believe it. Wish, the Maple Leafs goaltending situation is fine. I'm an immediate sell. You don't need to hear why. Go ahead, Wish.
I'm going to buy. I'm going to go against the grain. It's not for Peter Mrazek, I'll tell you that. But I am a Jack Campbell believer. I think this time away from the team to clear the man's mind will bring back the soupy we saw last year. I'm sort of a crazy spender anyway. I'm the guy who buys the walk at 2 a.m. on QVC. I'm buying Jack Campbell right now.
Allison?
I am not buying the walk from QVC. And I am not buying that the Toronto goaltending situation is fine. I'm a big Jack Campbell fan too, but I think what we're looking at here is this is a goaltender who has never played this much. And it's not just the mind that we have to be worried about with him, it's the body. And their goaltending was actually on the decline if you go back to starting around game 30 of this season. And I think there's great things in his future, but I think he's going to need a little bit more development time to build up to what the ask is to be a true number one in this league.
Yeah, it's kind of a reasonable response, I think.
All right, so we're going sell on that. Yeah, fair enough, right? The Oilers are enough. I think the theme is the same here. We've seen some flashes, even if they were few and far between, of brilliance from Mike Smith and Koskinen in net. I don't think that is enough. And I think it's a shame that we're going to have a situation, or we can envision a scenario where Connor McDavid and Leon Draisaitl are not even in the first round of the playoffs or the second round. That is a travesty as it pertains to hockey fans, but I just don't see it. I don't believe they are enough.
Yeah, I'm selling too. I mean, I think the Brett Kulak acquisition was actually pretty good. I mean, if you can't get a goalie, you might as well get a defenseman, right? And I think he's a solid defenseman. But to Arda's point, though, the problem was last offseason when the goalie carousel was spinning around. And what do? They ran back with the same two goalies they had the previous season. That's where the mistake was made. I don't think they have enough. I don't think they're better than at least 5 of the teams that are going to make the playoffs in the Western Conference. So I'm a seller on the Oilers.
Yeah, I'm a sell too. This goaltending situation, you can look at a stat that's on Hockey Reference. It's called quality starts. And it's what percentage of the time does a goaltender beat league average goaltending in the games that they've played? Good, the barometer for good is 60%. None of the Edmonton goaltenders are above 50%, and that is just not going to cut it when play elevates like it does in postseason.
This is the kind of quality analysis you get when you follow Allison at Allison L, 1L. Last one to you, Allison, to start. The Wild will win the West.
This is spicy. I like it. I like it a lot. But I am going to sell. Again, it's because I do have, my chips all in with Colorado figuratively. Of course, I would not be betting realistically.
Of course.
Of course. But, I think that I like the Fleury acquisition. I like how this team plays. I like what they do on the ice. And Marc-Andre Fleury is very talented, but he has had a down year. Of course, that relates to the play in front of him. But we have talked about Sergei Bobrovsky. I've watched goaltenders struggle behind a new system. And even when Fleury went to Vegas, he had time to adjust to that. And even if the quality is elevated, he still has to learn to play a little differently. So I don't know if he alone, he's an elite player for sure, but I don't know if he's enough of a difference maker to push this whole group over the edge.
But let's say he is. And we go from we get a team that's second in expected goals against per 60 and 17th in goals against per 60, and that gap goes whoop because of Marc-Andre Fleury. We might have ourselves a West winner. I'm buying on the Wild, baby.
Wow, you're completely abandoning the Avalanche. You're going all in on Minnesota.
Well, that assumes I was in on the Avalanche to begin with.
You were in on the Islanders at the start of the season, so who knows what you were in on. Anyhow, I put him on sell, so this is the only thing we're all buying, which just is very appropriate for Alison here. The Kraken will make the playoffs next season, everybody, so you can take that to the bank. Alison, thank you very much for joining us here on The Drop. You're the best.
You guys, it was an honor. Thank you so much for having me. Stay cool, stay awesome, and I look forward to watching you guys cover everything.
All right, up next, Pickles himself, Blake Coleman. Here's that interview.
Coleman scores! Here comes Coleman with a partial break. Scores! He scores! Blake Coleman has made it a 1-0 game.
Yeah, the Calgary Flames are absolutely rolling right now. Pleased to be joined here on ESPN The Drop by Blake Coleman. Blake, thanks for being here, man. How are you?
I'm doing well. How are you guys doing?
We're doing great. I'm going to ask you the toughest question right out of the bat. I used to cover the Devils when you were on the team. I was there for the whole Pickles era. I'm actually curious, since you left the Devils, has that nickname stuck around with Tampa then Calgary?
A little bit, yeah. It's not quite as crazy as it was in Jersey, but they kind of picked it up here right away. More like social media stuff than anything. But I stopped making the juice when COVID hit, so I guess it's partially on me.
Fair enough.
Wow, man, we got to bring it back. There's an entire province that doesn't know about the pickle juice, Blake.
It's true.
I know. I've been holding out. I did want to tweak it anyway, so maybe it was a good thing to shut it down for a little bit and figure some things out. But
there you go. Exactly. Tweak the formula, make it more palatable, throw something in there. Maybe make it a pickle energy drink. I think that'd be pretty much in vogue right now.
There you go.
There we go.
All right, dude.
Red Bull pickle flavor.
Why not? Blow it out.
We're going to have to try that sometime.
Exactly.
Oh my gosh.
Pickles give you wings. So here's the thing. Here's the thing I wanted to ask you. I find this fascinating. You've become a template. Like, we just did our trade deadline coverage on Monday here at ESPN. Everybody's looking for the next Blake Coleman. Like, that's amazing to me. Why do you think about the fact that you're now, like, the model for what is being sought after at the trade deadline?
Yeah, I mean, I guess it's a good thing because I guess it worked out. Obviously, it's funny because every team's so different in their needs and what they're looking for. And, so, I think to go after one kind of fit is just kind of a goofy thing that's going around. But, I think, like you said, it's cool to hear it. And it's obviously a good sign that teams are looking to fill roles that you fill personally. And, in Tampa, there was a lot of big pieces that were added. They added a lot of toughness and grit. So, maybe it's the whole formula that teams are looking at. But, like you said, it's been around, and I've gotten to hear a little bit about it, and it's fun to follow. But yeah, I guess that's it.
Now, as a follow-up, do you think Barclay Goodrow is jealous that people aren't looking for a Barclay Goodrow type at the trade deadline?
How dare you?
I don't know.
Blake?
I mean, I know. I would imagine they are. I don't know. I mean, he was obviously as big or bigger of a piece, to our team. So similar. I mean, it's really a similar role and similar pickup, and obviously he's really helped the Rangers kind of take that next step. So I'd imagine his name was also thrown out there as well.
Blake, let's talk about your team now. It feels like night and day from the start of the season to what we're seeing now. You guys are absolutely rolling. What would you say are the biggest contributors to the success that we're seeing from your team right now?
There's been a lot. I mean, obviously looking at, if you do go right to the stat sheet, you look at the production that our first line has had, it's been, pretty remarkable. Obviously, Johnny and Lindy and Chucky, like they're all in the plus 37 to 50 range, which is, if you look at how much they're contributing, that's a big deal. And then, we're getting contributions from, the rest of our lineup as well. And, we've been a really hard team to play against. And obviously a lot of that has to do with Daryl's system. He prides himself on being a strong, structured defensive coach, and guys have really bought into that way of playing. And, and the times that we do break down, we have two really good goaltenders. Obviously, Marky's playing, in my opinion, at a Vezina level, and if he continues to do that, we're going to continue to win.
So obviously both Alberta teams, you guys are firmly in a playoff spot. Edmonton's battling as well. There's always this conversation about the Battle of Florida, right? And how much people love to see the Lightning and the Panthers play each other, especially last year in the playoffs. I'm curious from your point of view, being in that Flames locker room, the possibility of a Battle of Alberta possibly happening in the postseason. I love it because of the geographical rivalry, but as a player living it, what's it like, and does it matter to you at all?
No, I mean, it's playoffs are playoffs. You know, in my opinion, every game feels like the battle of whatever. But
fair enough.
I mean, I will say the Florida series was probably the most exciting and intense and memorable series that I've played in so far in my career. And it really wasn't even all that much coverage to it because it was down in Florida, but you know, it was must-watch hockey in my opinion, and I would imagine that that's what it would be like up here playing Edmonton, except for you're really under the microscope and everybody's watching, and there's going to be a lot of coverage if that does take place. But I'd like to go somewhere a little sunnier for maybe a playoff matchup, but at the end of the day, we're there to win games, and it doesn't matter where you're at.
See where that is in the Western Conference. So, Blake, we had John Cooper on the show a couple weeks ago. Obviously, one of the more personable coaches in this league. Dude rocking Aerosmith T-shirts on his off day, that whole thing. Players coach, they say. You go from him to Daryl Sutter, the grumpy man on the tractor. Compare and contrast for me John Cooper and Daryl Sutter as coaches.
Oh, man. I mean, they're total opposite ends of the spectrum. I got asked this question a couple times now, and I think, they're just so different, but they're both really good motivators. They're really good in different ways. Coop is more of a, we had a veteran team in Tampa, so he kind of let the boys, take control and run the team in that sense, because we had a veteran group that knew what needed to be done, and then he laid the hammer when he needed to, but it was more about his way of motivating you through his speaking, and the way that he talks before games makes you feel like, you're playing the most important game every night. And Daryl does the same thing. It's just in a much different fashion. There's no secret of where you stand with Daryl and what he expects of you. And if you can't handle it, you're going to be in for a tough time. But, at the end of the day, they both, I respect both of them because they both really care about the people on their team and the players. They're both really into family, and I think at the end of the day, when you know that a guy like Daryl cares about you, it doesn't hurt as bad when he's giving it to you on a tough day.
Blake, you've been a good sport. We appreciate you joining us here. The last thing I'd like to ask is, when you relaunch the Pickle Juice, can we get the exclusive? Can you let us know so we can break the news on the show?
I think that could be arranged. Yeah, sounds good to me.
Excellent. Yes, we did it. Blake, thanks for
Big
being
coverage.
here, man. Appreciate it.
All right, thanks a lot, guys.
Wait, what the hell?
What the heck is this?
What's happening?
Gritty.
What? Oh, no.
Did he just hijack our show? What are you doing here? Put that away. We don't want to see that.
Come on. What is that?
You know what? As far as I'm concerned, Gritty, you're all the way in Philadelphia. We're here in Bristol. You're not going to get in your little clown car and drive to us. On the Vegas Golden. What are you doing?
You got a problem with Gritty, you got a problem with me. He says you're welcome. And go Flyers!
Ooh, wait a second.
Gritty, I shall have my revenge!
I don't know why we got to go all the way back to October to bring up old wounds like that. Like, I didn't need to see that, and I didn't need to see you on the show, Joe. What on earth are you doing here?
First of all, Gritty sends his apologies, okay? All right? He had some dirt on me, all right? I was in a tough spot. That Gritty Corleone, all right? I had to do what he told me.
I understand.
Gritty blackmail routine.
We felt bad for you that day.
Okay.
And Gritty does some pretty malicious things in the arena at times.
Sure.
He goes too far. Sometimes he doesn't. Sometimes it's too foul. We are going to play a game. pity or gritty? And I have little signs for you guys.
Oh, come on.
Here they are.
You pity the fan? You're going to throw up Arda's face.
Come on.
You have Gritty's stamp of approval.
Gritty.
You throw up the Gritty sign.
Gotcha.
It's that simple. Do we
Gritty?
Is this necessary?
It is.
Is
super,
this really necessary?
Super necessary.
Fine.
Let's
do
get
this.
into it. Up first, Gritty throws an endless amount of cakes at this fan.
Oh, wow. Full
They're
cakes?
full sheet cakes,
Oh,
like from
wow.
the local supermarket. That's incredible.
You know what?
I'm on 3. Here comes 4.
I mean, full cake. So here's the thing. Full marks for the amount of cakes, like the volume is impressive.
Yes.
And you know what? The fan is asking for it.
And
though.
honestly-
Like, hey, come on. Get me. Let's go. So, yeah,
Look at-
I know where I'm voting on this
Look
one.
at the velocity. He's like Mitch Williams with the throwing there. I go Gritty
I'm
on
on
that
Team
one.
Gritty on this.
Yeah,
I agree with this.
I think that's fantastic, actually.
I think it's
And
completely fair.
The fact that he went with sheet cakes to me is like the greatest thing I've ever seen.
Outstanding. That has to be at least like $300
And also,
a cake.
if that guy was wearing the electric skate logo from the Canucks, maybe I'd have a little bit of pity for him, but he's wearing the bad whale logo, so I'm going to go
yeah,
Gritty on
electric
that one.
skate is one of the
This
greatest
last
logos
one is electric, though. You pump up the crowd, scream louder, I'll throw more cakes right to the face.
Oh, my God.
Okay.
We're going wanted it anyway.
Next, Gritty taking on a 7-year-old.
Ooh.
Check this out.
Uh-oh.
He's looking like Gordon Bombay, the double deke netter.
Oh, my God. That's incredible. You know, postscript of this is the Flyers then signed that kid to an 8-year max contract. Pretty amazing.
Yes, exactly. We need our new Luongo.
So,
That's
Arda, well, let's start with you. You're
I'm going
showing this
pity.
beautiful
now, listen,
picture of yourself.
We've seen a couple of awful. We've seen a couple of kids score incredible goals during intermission
Yeah.
of NHL games, also against kid goalies.
Right.
That I'm a little bit more forgiving of because they're trying a lacrosse goal. It's cool, whatever. This is Gritty.
Right.
Okay, a full-grown whatever that is.
Yeah.
Doing this to a kid goalie, I don't like it at all. No.
I go pity as well because that kid was wearing Ronnie Hextall's old number, so I feel like that's blasphemy in the context of Philadelphia sports.
Yeah, you can't do that.
Oh, of course.
Not a fan of participation trophies.
You're all
You teach them young.
children,
I will never, if I ever have a son,
goalies.
at this point, it's
Who
trending.
gave you a vote, by the way?
That's true.
I thought you were.
Good
I
point.
thought you were.
You're right,
hosting
you're right.
this
I'm
segment,
putting
all
this
of a
down.
sudden you're just okay. Anyway,
By the
I'm
way,
just kidding.
I'm Gritty in that. Number 3.
Yeah.
This makes me sick. It is, first of all, Greg, this may very well be you. Aren't you a Devils fan?
Yeah, I am. That's actually my dad. Oh, and I will be his last son.
No way. That was deliberate.
I'm
too. You
sweating
knew
right
Gritty
now
was
watching
aiming.
this.
I mean, listen, credit to Gritty for the proper aim because you knew that's exactly what Gritty wanted to do. So, for the purposes of content, Gritty did what he wanted to do. So, I mean, I don't know. I think I'm on Gritty on this one with Gritty because
I mean, I'm a Devils fan. I want to go pity, but obviously I have to go Gritty because that was the perfect symbolic representation of their playoff probability.
Blindfolded
teams?
too.
Both teams.
so then Gritty hits himself afterwards.
We're moving on. Gritty isn't making it rain with, singles and whatnot. We're going popcorn.
Oh,
We're
hell
going
yeah.
straight popcorn to the crowd. This is how you
Look
fire up a
at
crowd.
that.
I'm full pity on this one.
Ooh.
So here's the thing. We know that Gritty pushes the envelope, but this is impacting an entire section of fans.
Yes.
So that's why I'm pitting, because maybe this is the opposing team's section, like the opposing team's fan section, but there's a couple of Flyers fans sprinkled in that are
Doesn't
like
matter.
casualties as a result.
Friendly fire happens. Look, that is the best cut scene from Cloudy with a Chance of Meatballs I've ever seen, and I would be down there like Pac-Man eating that stuff up if I had the chance.
So
You'd be like, give me the popcorn.
you're okay with a dodgeball to the midsection?
100%. It's one person
not
versus hundreds of people getting impacted. Pity that. Absolutely.
All right. We're going with the last one.
Okay.
All right.
Foul. This is beyond foul. This makes me want to vomit. This is on Gritty's TikTok.
Oh.
He starts with milk. We're going kitty litter. Cat food and kitty litter. Come on. To the Panthers fan, yes.
The milk for the cat.
And he puts in his
Everything else for
caption,
the
it
cat.
takes 2 hours to wash this kitty litter concrete off his hair.
That's pity. I got nothing but pity for a guy who's got to wash kitty litter out of his hair. That's for sure.
I'm grittying it because this commercial actor just got a good payday.
Oh, come on. That's a hardened Panthers fan. Scott Mellenby jersey, the whole nine.
You're going to tell me that you pity a person that gets hit in the cojones, but you gritty this man?
Absolutely. 100%.
Dude, he must have been sitting there for hours smelling foul.
He's got a good point.
He's rolling around like Scrooge McDuck in a bath full of coins, gold coins. Come on.
Wow.
How did you smell after that October incident from the Pine?
Terrible.
Yeah?
Sucked.
Remember how I said Gritty was sorry?
Uh-huh.
That leaves me with this.
Uh-oh.
All right? This is from Gritty. He said, don't open it, don't do nothing. Take care.
Thanks.
Maybe brush your hair.
Why is he talking like Sebastian Maniscalco? Why is this spelled? What is up with this R?
Oh, it's
What
the
is
classic.
this?
It's the classic Toys R Us spelling of R.
What is this?
Oh God! What is that smell? Oh no! Oh my God! Oh, that's a little close for comfort. What is that stench?
God.
It's the worst parts of Philadelphia in an air freshener.
Oh, Gritty. I swear to you, Gritty, I will get my revenge. I need a palate cleanser from this. NHL Highlight Nexus, please play me some old Hartford Whalers to make me feel good.
Shot into the Montreal zone. Centering pass, they score! Deneen! Who else? Kevin Deneen. When they need a goal, the Hartford Whalers go to Mr. Guts, Kevin Deneen, and he gets it. Now, Dick, I think you'll see this.
Brass Bonanza never gets old, and that's one of my favorite bits on the show, the NHL Highlight Nexus.
Remember the whale, everybody. Remember the whale.
Remember, we have 3 games only on ESPN and ESPN Plus. This one on ESPN starting at 7 Eastern, the Stars and the Hurricanes. Let's preview the matchup a little bit. Obviously, Max Domi looking to make his debut with the Carolina Hurricanes. How does he slot into the forward core?
Well, I think he slots in the forward core where Jordan Martinook would normally be as he comes back from injury. But I mean, you know, look, he's going to be a fourth-line player. They're hoping to get something out of him. The best thing I heard at the trade deadline was that Rod Brind'Amour had a lot of input on whether or not they should go in and try to acquire Max Domi, which tells me that he thinks he can be a Rod Brind'Amour type player. And a Rod Brind'Amour type player is what this team is built on. Second in 5-on-5 offense behind the Florida Panthers, and the best PK in the league, and the best goals against per game in the league. That's mostly thanks to stellar goaltending from Freddie Anderson, but the Hurricanes are a force to be reckoned with.
Domi has 32 points in 53 games this season. The other 2 games exclusively on ESPN Plus, Flyers, Blues. That's 8 p.m. start. Blackhawks, Kings at 10. Also only on ESPN Plus. Before we go here on The Drop, you heard Blake Coleman say, hey, you know what? Maybe I will bring the pickle juice back. Maybe I'll merge it with Red Bull. Maybe the drink will be pickle juice and Red Bull. So, in honor of Blake Coleman, we're going to try this.
All right.
So we got
our cup
here.
We got our pickle juice. We got our Red Bull.
Okay. This is actual pickle juice.
And a little science experiment.
And this is Red Bull.
All right. And so we have this. Boy, does this look distinct.
All right. Well, cheers to you, my friend. All right. Let's give this a whirl.
Oh, that is briny. But
Hang on.
not the worst thing I've had.
I think Blake Coleman will do a better job than we just did because this needs a little bit of refining.
Oh, wow. That's
Needs a little
something.
work.
By the
All
way,
right.
Dallas Stars.
Yeah, well, how about them?
77% chance of making the playoffs. That's probably why they weren't big sellers at the deadline with John Klingberg, and they had the opportunity to maybe move Braden Holtby. But here's the thing about them that I love: the line of Jason Robertson, Joe Pavelski, Rupe Hintz, top 5 line in this league.
Absolutely.
Gives them a chance to win every game.
Jason Robertson, big money bag at the end of the season, no doubt. I'm going to try it one more time. Let's
Cheers.
See if they're good. Thanks for watching.
This is great
This is
and
for you,
terrible.
Blake Coleman. Pickles.
Oh,
It's still bad.
Oh.
It's still bad.
Tell me, are you ready for it? Ready for it? Everybody!
Robertson.
The rush to the playoffs continue. Stars Hurricanes tonight on ESPN. Blackhawks Golden Knights Saturday on ABC and ESPN+.